Hi all. I wanted to leave a record. Who's this for? I don't know. Anybody who cares to listen? I find myself in an interesting position at almost 64 years of age. 6.5 decades. I find myself in an interesting position. It's challenging and yet very promising. It's very, very promising. You see, because I'm a student of A Course in Miracles now, for those who don't know. I used to be a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, but I don't consider myself a member there, nor do I speak for them, but I can't very well take that experience out of my life, It's a big part of what I am. That having been said, the world that I understand today wants to attack. It was founded on attack. It was created for the purpose of attack. It was created to manifest the belief in separation from God. And there's one ticket home, Dorothy. Only one. And it's inside of you. And it's just accepting the atonement that Jesus is offering us and understanding that we haven't separated from God. That's an impossibility. God would not abandon his Son, nor is what we create how do I want to say this? Something that we don't want to enjoy. Okay? When you create something, you want to enjoy it. You want to celebrate it. When you truly create, you don't manipulate. You don't dictate. You don't creation is a cooperative measure. So you might say that Christ participated in his own creation. And if you were to take that just a little further, you would recognize that what we're experiencing right now is actually part of that gestation, that time of creation. We are still in the process of Christ becoming, Christ being created. The second coming of Christ will merely be the waking up of us to realize that we're not our enemies. Every one of us who came here with the understanding that we were our own enemy and that we were deserving of punishment. And I know I'm not giving you a lot of backup on how I know that, but I don't have time for that. You wouldn't believe me anyway. I can tell you this. I have studied my scriptures for a long time. And I currently study and teach A Course in Miracles. I use the Urtext, and no one, mind you, no one teaches it the way I do. They just don't see it the way I do. But then they didn't come into it from having a relationship with Jesus either. Most of the teachers of A Course in Miracles were atheists or something else, agnostic. Those are the two that brought it to us. Those are the two that Jesus sent it to, because they asked the right question. They asked, how do we get along? And when you ask Jesus a question, he's going to answer you. You can tell that he had to work with them quite a bit to really see if they were cooperative in bringing his message out. But they were to a point, both of them, Bill and Helen. But they didn't get it entirely. I don't feel like I have to defend myself. I choose to stand in the knowledge of the one true defense. That's the atonement. The atonement doesn't have to attack. It's the only non-attacking defense there is for humanity. I love it. I love learning that. I'm teaching the course on a blog talk radio show, so I'm doing it out loud. And because I'm doing that, I'm learning things a different way than I would be if I were just reading it myself. Now, I've read the course, all 3 volumes, 3 times, and the 4th time I read the text in the Urtext. And I just recently gotten access to Helen's original notes, but I'm not impressed to dive deep into those right now. The Lord's got a lot on my plate. I do social isolation, part for the pandemic, but I was doing it before then. And I'll continue doing it afterwards, I expect. I know what humanity is. And I know language. And I know attack language when I hear it. And my acceptance of and affection for people, well, it's just not taken well. People don't want to be loved. People are hating on themselves. You can see that with all the turmoil that's going on right now politically. It's very loud. It's very loud in my face because it's all over the internet, and that's where I do my work. That's where I've borne my testimony for a long time. So for me, it's disturbing in the sense that, how do I say this? It's disturbing in the sense that I don't like confrontation. So when I hear all the turmoil, read it and hear it online, I tend to want to back up from my work that I do. And I have to not let that happen. I have to be willing to continue to put my face, my voice out there. That's what this body's been given to me for, is to bear witness of the Son of God. And I want to do that. I want to do that in a way that hopefully pleases Jesus, okay? He's the dude that's in charge right here. He's the God of this world, as I've come to understand it. And I mean that lowercase g, okay? He's the president, the leader, the CEO, the head honcho, the best friend, my king, my Lord. I don't look at him like I used to, or like the Bible depicts him. I've had a relationship with him when I was a little girl. I have a relationship with him today. I try to follow his words, and then I try to let him take whatever influence that may be, and let him, how do I say this? Let him direct how it manifests. I trust Jesus. I trust his word, and I have, my gosh, in the Urtext I have 610 pages that are mainly words from Jesus, and it thrills my heart. It fills me up. I love to study it. It's so comforting. It's so, his compassion, his personality comes through, his dedication, commitment to us, and his respect for our he respects the boundaries that are in place for everyone. When he talks to us in our language. So look at your life and you'll see him talking to you. And he wants to give us a smoother road. He wants to give us an easier life, a happier life, a united life. He wants to alter the false narrative we have that we walk separate from God or separate from each other. And because of that, in it is the false narrative that we're not worthy of abundance, physically, financially, emotionally, whatever way, psychologically. There is no enemy but the way we think. And as real as the rest may seem, and I understand it seems pretty real. It's the 7th of June, 2020. And I'm going to be buying a new camera, so I'm going to have better lighting for my videos. And I've got outlets for my writing. And I trust that the Lord will bless me with the ability to continue and not to be, it's not really frightened, it's more frozen, because like I said, I'm not one who, I don't want to shove something in people's faces. I can't, I just don't want to go there. But I do have something to say, because Jesus wants it said. Jesus is who we can look to. The first 3 times I read the Course in Miracles, I almost was dissuaded from that. But I know with a surety now that Jesus is the pathway, because he knows the way. Not because he's better than, not because he's bigger than, but because he was first. He created the plan, and he created the return, the atonement. We got it. I've got to close. Till next time. God bless. Bye for now.